Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-dive into a story that truly shows the incredible depth of courage and loyalty our animal friends possess. It's a story about a hero, a four-legged hero named Leo, whose actions on one terrifying night left an entire community in awe. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let S talk about the dog who stared fire in the face and didn't back down. Our story begins in a quiet, ordinary neighborhood, the kind where everyone knows each other. This is where Leo, a beautiful and spirited German shepherd, lived with his family, the Mitt. Leo wasn't just a pet. He was a cherished member of the family, known for his playful antics and his fiercely protective nature, especially around the Miller kids. He was the neighborhood's unofficial furry greeter, always ready with a happy bark and a wagging tail. But no one could have predicted the extraordinary bravery lurking beneath that friendly exterior. One cold autumn night, as the Miller family slept soundly, disaster struck. A faulty wire in the kitchen sparked, and within minutes, smoke began to fill the house. It was Leo who first sensed the danger. His sharp ears picked up the faint crackle of the flames, and his sensitive nose detected the acrid smell of smoke long before any human could. He sprang into action, barking loudly and relentlessly, running from room to room, a living, breathing smoke alarm. His frantic barking woke up Mr. and Mrs. Miller, confused and disoriented. They opened their bedroom door to a wall of thick, black smoke. Panic set in, but Leo's persistent nudging and barking guided them through the haze. They grabbed their two young children from their beds, and with Leo leading the way, the family managed to stumble out of the front door, gasping for fresh air just as the flames began to engulf the living room. They were safe, all of them. The firefighters were on their way. They stood on the lawn, watching in horror as their home was consumed by fire. They hugged each other, grateful to be alive, all thanks to their brave dog. But just as a wave of relief washed over them, they noticed something was wrong. Leo was no longer by their side. They called his name, their voices filled with rising panic. And then they saw it. A flash of fur, a determined silhouette against the roaring orange flames. Leo had turned around and bolted back into the inferno. Mrs. Miller screamed, "Leo, no!" They couldn't understand. Why would he go back in? He had already saved them. Everyone was out. The firefighters arriving on the scene tried to restrain the family, telling them it was too dangerous. The roof was close to collapsing, but the Millers could only watch, their hearts pounding with fear for their beloved dog. What could possibly be so important inside that burning house that Leo would risk his life for it? Minutes felt like an eternity. The family and their neighbors held their breath, fearing the worst. The firefighters were preparing to enter the building, but the heat was too intense. Just when all hope seemed lost, a figure emerged from the smoke-filled doorway. It was Leo. He was covered in soot, coughing and limping, but he was alive. And he wasn't alone. Clutched gently in his mouth was a small, fluffy bundle. As he collapsed onto the grass, weak but triumphant, he carefully placed his precious cargo down. The family rushed over, and through their tears they saw what he had risked everything for. It was their tiny 6-week-old kitten, a recent addition to the family that they had named Smokey. In the chaos and panic of the escape, they had completely forgotten about the little kitten who had been sleeping in her basket in the kitchen, the very room where the fire had started. But Leo hadn't forgotten. His incredible loyalty extended to every single member of his family, no matter how small. He knew the kitten was still inside, and he couldn't leave her behind. He had faced the flames not for a toy, not for himself, but for the most vulnerable member of his pack. The firefighters and paramedics on the scene were stunned. They immediately gave both Leo and the tiny kitten oxygen, tending to their minor burns. The story of Leo's heroism spread like wildfire, pun intended. He became a local celebrity. News channels featured his story, and people from all over sent gifts and donations to help the Miller family rebuild. But more importantly, Leo's bravery reminded everyone of the unbreakable bond we share with our animals. He wasn't just a dog. He was a guardian, a protector, a true hero who understood loyalty in a way that transcends species. The Millers lost their home that night, but they didn't lose what was truly important: each other. And that included every single member, from the biggest to the very smallest. Leo and Smokey the kitten recovered fully, becoming an inseparable pair. Their story is a powerful testament to the courage and love that animals bring into our lives, often in the most unexpected and breathtaking ways. It shows us that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes they have 4 paws and a whole lot of heart. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this incredible story with me today. If you were as touched by Leo's bravery as I was, please hit that like button and share this video to spread the love. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss our next story. Until next time, take care.